Hi, hello, and welcome in our video. In this special two-part video, we will be summarizing the basics of working with doors next. This video is not a deep dive explanation. It is fast summary where we will connect multiple concepts together. We will create component and module from the scratch, together with few artifacts, artifact types, artifact attribute, glossary terms, images, diagrams, and embedded artifacts. As this is just a summary, it goes without saying that to get the most out of this video, you should already be familiar with those topics, as we will not deep dive into those areas. Before explanation, I will show you the scenario, and I would like to highly encourage you to do it by yourself without this video. Just after you will get stuck, but hopefully no, use this video where we will go through scenario step by step. Alright, so the scenario for both videos is the following. Please pause the video and create screenshot if you would like to go through this scenario by yourself. In this first video, we will go through first half, maybe 2/3 of the scenario, and in the second video, we will go through the rest. Great, hopefully it wasn't too fast, and now let's jump directly to the scenario. So, the bullet point number 1 is to create a component without a template. So, I am in a project, and to create component, I will click on Create Component. Then we will use any component name, and we don't need any description. We will not use any template to initially populate the component. Excellent, and our component is created. Now we are supposed to create two folders, modules and base artifacts. So I will navigate to the root folder, right-click, create folder, modules, OK, and once again, base artifacts. All right. Now we are supposed to change default setting to store artifacts created in a modules to the base artifacts folder. Remember that this is not a default behavior, so we need to go to component properties. And here we need to find module options, and here we need to specify the folder. So I will specify base artifacts folder. Save. Perfect. Now I will navigate back to artifacts, and here in modules folder, I am supposed to create stakeholder requirement specification module. So I will click on create, but you see, I am not able to create anything. Why? Because I don't have any artifact type associated with stakeholder requirement specification module. So I need to go up here, manage component properties, and I need to go to artifact types. And you see, I don't have any artifact types. So I need to create stakeholder requirement specification artifact type that will be format module. And also I need to create stakeholder requirement, heading, and information. Let's do that. I will click on new type, and here I will select and choose. Alright, but to create module from this, you need to click here on default artifact format and select module. Save. Excellent, so we have stakeholder requirement specification. Now we need to create heading. So I will choose new artifact type, heading. You can change icon, for example, to this one. Okay, so we have heading, and yes, I would like to create text, and we need to, in modules, display artifacts of this type as headings by default. Excellent, now I can save, perfect, and also I need to create information and stakeholder requirement. So two more types, we start with information, it will be text, and we don't need to do anything else. We can change, for example, this icon. I will use, for example, this summary, why not? And the last one is stakeholder requirement. Again, text. I can change icon. There is probably some stakeholder requirement here. No, but I will use this one. Perfect. Save. Just note that in the real world, I would also create URI, but right now for our scenario and our examples, we don't need one. Perfect. Now we can try to create our module again. I will go back to artifacts and now I can create stakeholder requirement specification. Excellent. It will be a module. I don't have any template. Perfect. I can navigate inside. And here in this module, I am supposed to create heading number 1. So I will create new artifact. It will be heading. Okay. Then I need to create information number 1 underneath this heading. So I will create other artifact type. I am not very creative, so I will be literal. I will be creating literally information number 1. It will be information. Okay, you see it's not in the hierarchy, so I will click here and demote artifact. And now it is in the hierarchy. Perfect. Next, under information number 1, I am supposed to create subheading 1.1. So I can click on heading 1, Control Enter, subheading 1.1, but you see it's now heading 2, so I can demote it again. Excellent. And underneath this subheading, I am supposed to create stakeholder requirement number 1. So I can click on this subheading and I can show you yet another way how can you do it. So I will click on this icon, insert new artifact, other type as a child. Excellent. And it will be stakeholder requirement 1. And artifact type should be stakeholder requirement. Perfect. Now stakeholder requirement 2. Control Enter. Stakeholder requirement 2 and information 2. Control Enter. But now this is stakeholder requirement. This is also stakeholder requirement, but this one is information in a content, but artifact type is stakeholder requirement. So I need to change it. I will click Edit, and here I will choose information. Yes, done. Perfect. So you see it's type information right now. The last thing we need to do is to include some picture. So I can go to Create, Upload Artifact, and here I can click on Browse. I choose our logo. It's PNG file. It can be information. Okay. And we have our logo here. I will just check if it's in the right hierarchy. So I will refresh and click on this arrow. Perfect. It's working perfectly. Yes, so it is under right hierarchy. All right, so I wasn't creative, I was literal, but I can use some rich text formatting. For example, this information, I will create just italics. This stakeholder requirement, I would like to have bold and maybe red. The second one should be blue and bold and with yellow background, why not? And this information should be this one. This is again just as a summary that you can use rich text formatting and that you have options here. So you can choose anything. You can also choose, for example, paragraph format, or you can choose different, for example, Comic Sans. Why not? Okay, but this doesn't look like Comic Sans once again. Perfect. Right now it's working. Excellent. So you see, those are options for rich text formatting. It's up to you. Now, we are supposed to go to the folder structure, and in a root folder, we should create base artifact with information number 3. All right, I will click on artifacts. We are in a folder structure, but before we will create this information, I will just check if those artifacts are really in this folder. Excellent. So what we set up in the component properties is working. We really created some module, and this module created this structure in a base artifact. You see stakeholder requirement specification, and all artifacts we created are here. Excellent. Now to our scenario. I will click on root folder. And here I will click on create information, information number 3, and OK. Now we need to go to the modules. I will select the stakeholder requirement specification, and I should include this base artifact we created into the stakeholder requirement specification module right in the beginning in this heading number 1. So I can click here, click on insert existing artifact below as a child, and I will find it here in this training component folder, add and close. Perfect. So now we have this base artifact we created in a folder structure included here in the module. Fine. Next, we have these two stakeholder requirements. And in this next step, we are supposed to set them as high priority artifact. All right, no problem. So I will just click on the stakeholder requirement number 1, click on edit, and here I can set all right, but I don't have any priority here. No problem at all, because I can create this new column and I can add priority to a column. Okay, but I don't have priority here. So what are you supposed to do? There was just two ways how you can create. You can, for example, go here and you can click on edit attributes. Again, no priority here. So what are you supposed to do? You need to remember that you started with empty component. Therefore, you didn't have any artifact types. We need to create every artifact type. But also, you don't have artifact attributes. You have few predefined artifact attributes, but priority is not one of them. So you need to create artifact attribute. To do that, I will navigate up here to settings, manage component properties, new attribute, priority. I will create also new data type. It will be enumerated list of values, and I will call it priority values. I will add multiple values. So first one is very low, low, medium, high, and extreme. Perfect. All right. Okay. And save. Perfect. And you see just one value is allowed. That's great. If you would like to associate multiple values to one artifact attribute, you can click here, but no, we don't want to do that. Perfect. The last thing we need to do is to associate this artifact attribute with artifact type. So I will click artifact types. Now we need just stakeholder requirements. So I can click here, add attribute, priority, OK, save. Super quick. Now I can go back to artifacts. I will find my module and stakeholder requirements here. So I can select this one, click on edit, and here priority I can set up as high. Perfect. Done. And the second option is to click here, more. I can add this column, priority, OK, and high. And just as example, you can select both of them. You can edit attributes for both artifacts, and you can select priority here. But right now we don't have to. We already have both stakeholder requirements set up as high priority. Now I am supposed to create chapter 2, so I will click on heading, Control Enter, and you see it was automatic chapter 2. And in this chapter I am supposed to create any table, and this table should be artifact type information. So I will click here, insert new artifact, other type, and below as a child it will be information, and initial content nothing, because I would like to go inside and create any table here. So insert table, default one, why not? All right, so this is my take on table. Yeah, again, very creative. Perfect, and right now I think we are somewhere in the middle. So we can stop this video right now and we will continue in the second video. Again, I am highly encouraging you to go through these exercises alone. And if you will get stuck, then you can use the second video as a guide, because we will again go step by step through every exercise. So I really hope this video was informative for you, and I look forward to see you in our next video.